She had it all: fame, respect, and a loyal husband who held her down when no one else would. But in a matter of months, Remy Ma lost everything. Papoose didn't just walk away. He walked away heartbroken. And this time, she's the one left crying. What really happened behind closed doors? How did a love story that once inspired millions unravel so painfully and so publicly? They were once the couple that made people believe in real love, even in the cold, cutthroat world of hip-hop. When Remy Ma went to prison, it could have been the end of their story. For many couples, that kind of separation, especially under such heavy circumstances, would have marked the final chapter. But instead, it was where their story truly began. Papoose didn't just wait for her. He stood by her through every phone call, every hearing, every birthday and holiday missed behind bars. He showed up for her when no one else did, proving loyalty wasn't just something he rapped about, it was something he lived. While other rappers paraded flings and flexed on social media, Papoose stayed grounded. He didn't chase clout. He didn't entertain temptation. He focused on his music, his family, and most importantly, on Remy. His love was constant, steadfast, loud in loyalty but quiet in performance. No need for flashy displays. He wasn't putting on for the cameras. His actions spoke volumes. Real love doesn't need validation from the world. And Remy knew what she had. When she finally walked out of those prison gates, the first face she saw was his. That moment cemented everything. He had been waiting, not just as a boyfriend, but as a man who truly believed in her potential and her worth, even when the world turned its back. In 2016, their bond was sealed with a wedding that felt bigger than hip-hop. Fans celebrated it like their own family was getting married. They represented what it meant to survive the storm and come out stronger. Their love story became a beacon of hope in a culture often defined by short-lived relationships and broken vows. Papoose wasn't just Remy's husband. He became a symbol, a reminder that there were still real ones out there who knew what it meant to love unconditionally. Remy had found someone rare. Someone who saw her not just as a rapper or a celebrity, not just as a woman who had served time, but as a human being. Someone who deserved loyalty, patience, and real, unwavering support. And for a while, nothing could shake them. They stood side by side through industry highs and lows, celebrated milestones, built a family, and gave fans a reason to believe that hip-hop love could be pure. But even the strongest foundations can crack under pressure. Fame doesn't just test your patience, it tests your priorities. As the years passed, subtle shifts began to show. Insiders close to the couple noticed the changes first. The chemistry that once lit up red carpets seemed to cool. Papoose, once beaming at every event, started to look distant, quieter, as if something heavy was weighing him down. True to his nature, he didn't air it out publicly. He didn't rant online or throw shade in interviews. But those close to him said his silence spoke volumes. At the same time, Remy was diving headfirst back into her career. After years of being known as the woman behind bars, she was ready to reclaim her name. She took on music projects, reality shows, hosting gigs. She was everywhere. And with that ambition came longer workdays, more travel, and a relentless schedule. Somewhere in the middle of the grind, personal moments got pushed aside. The romance dimmed. The connection that once held them together began to stretch thin. Whispers of tension turned into obvious distance. Photos of them together became rare. Public outings dried up. The same couple that once set couple goals for the culture started moving like strangers. And still, they said nothing. No statements, no confirmations, just silence. The kind of silence that fans can feel, because when two people who once radiated love stop showing up for each other, the world notices. Then came the breaking point. A photo started circulating. Remy Ma, dressed sharp, looking comfortable, maybe too comfortable, standing next to battle rapper Easy the Block Captain. At first, fans brushed it off. Maybe it was business. Maybe they were collaborating. But then more images surfaced. Videos, clips, interactions, and what people saw wasn't just chemistry, it was tension. The kind of energy that makes you look twice. The way he smiled at her. The way she laughed just a little too long. It didn't feel professional, it felt personal. Then came the rumors, the confrontation. Word on the street was that Papoose found out, and when he did, he didn't just get upset. He allegedly confronted Easy backstage at an event. Some sources claimed there was a physical altercation. Others said it got heated but never turned violent. Either way, something real went down. And while Remy kept her composure in public, trying to brush off the rumors with humor and vague statements, fans weren't buying it. They had already seen enough, the energy was off, and the truth was starting to show. After that, everything spiraled. Papoose vanished from her side. No more red carpet photos. No more public declarations. The man who had once worn his heart on his sleeve went silent. And when Pap goes quiet, that's when you should worry. Because his silence isn't empty. It's full of pain he refuses to perform. Fans started noticing the signs. He unfollowed her on social media. He wiped their pictures, deleted memories that had once told a story of forever. The wedding ring, gone. Rumors swirled that he had moved out of their home. But through all of this, he said nothing. Not a single interview. Not one post throwing blame. Just cold, dignified distance, and Remy. She tried to hold it together. She kept showing up for events, but something was different. One night, cameras caught her wiping away tears before hitting the stage. At a panel, her voice cracked when she spoke about trust and betrayal. It wasn't a performance. It was the sound of a woman who knew, deep down, that she might have lost the one person who loved her for all the right reasons. Family and friends felt the fallout. Their daughter, still young and innocent, was caught in the middle, asking questions no child should have to ask. Family members took sides. Friends from the Bronx started choosing allegiances. People who once shared Thanksgiving dinners now passed each other cold looks. Papoose's sisters, once supportive of Remy, unfollowed her online. They posted cryptic captions about loyalty, trust, and being done. And through it all, Remy kept wearing her wedding ring. Even as the rest of the world fell away, that band stayed on her finger. Maybe it was habit. Maybe it was hope. Maybe it was a symbol, not of what still was, but of what she wished could still be. It was like her silent apology, her quiet prayer for one more chance. The internet exploded. Fans split down the middle. Some called Remy ungrateful, pointing to the years Pap spent holding her down. They shared videos of him defending her, loving her, parenting solo while she served time. To them, she threw away something sacred. But others saw a more complex picture. They argued that we never know what goes on behind closed doors. That maybe Papoose had emotionally checked out long before Easy ever came around. Maybe they had drifted too far before any scandal hit the blogs. Still, one thing was clear, the fairy tale had ended. And not with a bang, but with a slow, painful unraveling. In a recent podcast interview, Remy finally spoke. She didn't name names, she didn't confirm rumors. But her voice trembled. Her words carried weight. She spoke of feeling misunderstood, of battling loneliness, even when surrounded by people, of giving everything to everyone and feeling empty. And in that moment, it became clear she wasn't just heartbroken, she was broken. Those close to her said she wasn't sleeping, that she showed up to work on autopilot, that her spark, the one that made her Remy Ma, had dimmed. And still, Papoose said nothing. He made only one cryptic post, a quote on his story that read, "Sometimes walking away is the only way to find peace." That was it. No drama, no captions, just truth. And that silence hit harder than any diss track ever could. Because when a man like Pap, who gave and gave and gave, finally walks away, you know he's got nothing left. Friends say Remy has tried reaching out, that she wants to fix things, that she still holds on to hope. But Pap, he's choosing himself now. And that's not selfish. That's self-preservation. He spent years pouring into someone else's comeback, someone else's legacy. And now he's writing his own peace story. Still, fans can't help but wonder, is this really the end? Or could there be a second chapter waiting in the wings? They survived prison, industry pressures, public scrutiny. Could they survive this? Maybe, maybe not. But if this really is the end, it won't be remembered as just a breakup. It will be remembered as the fall of a love story that carried an entire culture with it. A love that reminded us what real sacrifice looks like, and a silence that said more than words ever could.